Shad again from Bucket Lord. Christmas tree is still up because it's the season, and I got my little butthead Jasper with me. And why am I in a turtleneck? It's actually my first wedding anniversary, and I'm getting dressed up to go out. But before that, I needed to talk about the second episode of Creature Commandos. But before I get to that, a few things I didn't talk about in the first episode. I enjoy Cersei. I think it's really exciting that Cersei is a villain for a bunch of, I'm sorry, but D-list characters to deal with. I really enjoy Alexei, the forwarder that's really into American, just Americans in general. He was like, "What's up?" And I was a big fan of that. I think that's the bulk of what I missed out. Oh, and showing an animated James Gunn in the title sequence, I thought that was really funny. But going to this episode, the tourmaline necklace, I believe, that first, I really enjoy. I don't know what it is about it, but I like that the characters in the show say the title episode. Big fan. It's like a roll credits moment for like cinema sins in my brain. I don't really like sex scenes in in media, but I thought it was really funny to have a peanut gallery of Dr. Phosphorus, Weasel, GI Robot, and then Alexei showing up. I really enjoy that dynamic of Alexei and Dr. Phosphorus. The main allure of this episode for me, I guess, was the bride. I liked watching the bride and Nina interact. I enjoyed watching Nina go from the spineless character to the go F yourself when they were at death's door. I loved how the bride just kind of like waved Nina off and she said, "Don't tisk at me, just say no." That was, to me, I think that's hilarious. But I enjoyed getting to learn about the bride and seeing her flashbacks and seeing, watching Frankenstein be like an emo, incel, edgy kid. It was really, really funny. And he's like, "Why won't she love me?" And I'm like, "Shut up." But it cracked me up every time I saw him. But it was fun to see snippets of her backstory and then seeing Dr. Victor, I guess. And I didn't like the fact that he was slowly grooming her to then pork her. And I was like, "You have a wife and kids at home." But it was fun to see all of that in like snippets with interactions with Nina and all of it leading up to the interaction with Cersei, the fight. And I didn't even mention the fight choreography from the first episode. I loved the fight choreography from the first episode. I love it whenever characters interact with their surroundings to solve a problem. And that was all the Dr. Phosphorus and Rick Flag fight from the first episode was. And then it was fun to watch the bride carry Nina throughout this attack by all the men that Cersei has armed with her, and then watching the bride fight Cersei was really fun, and then watching Cersei turn her arms into the friggin' inflatable balloons. I'm like, everything all at once reference. Someone was watching. Incredible movie, by the way. I really need to rewatch it. I've seen it once, and that's one too little. That's many too little. But I guess, all in all, it was really fun. I'm really enjoying this. And to cap it all off, I realized that the music is a really, really important part of this series. It reminds me that I'm supposed to be having fun. Like, it was kind of sad watching her seeing the backstory of, oh, Frankenstein loves the bride doesn't love Frankenstein, bride falls in love with Victor, Victor and the bride pork, and and then Frankenstein kills Victor, and then you see the flashbacks between Cersei and that fight. It's followed with really, really funny music showing the bride and Frankenstein all throughout the ages. So I was like, wow. Even though it was a really sad moment, I remember this show. It doesn't want me to be sad. It wants me to enjoy myself. It wants me to have a good time. But all in all, great episode. I really enjoyed this. I only made the last one a minute because I didn't realize I could make this more than a minute. So hoorah to whoever actually listens to this.